Hello, welcome to Dungeon Journals Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. I hope you had a good weekend. Mine was okay. It was alright. So today we're reviewing a Dynamite comic book. This time we're reviewing Kirby Genesis, which is written by Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross, the team that brought you Marvels. You also have art by, what's his name, Jack Hebert. And this book is rated teen plus, and it's it's $30. So it collects issues 0 through 8 of Kirby Genesis. So what the book is about is it's basically Dynamite or Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross took the took concept art and some old Jack Kirby characters and wrote a story introducing them all. So you have a lot of characters in this book that feel like kind of like rip-offs from other Jack Kirby characters. You got there's like a four rip-off. There's the 4 rip-off is called Sigurd the Dragon Slayer. You got Swan Maiden, which is a ripoff of Sith. You even got 2 characters in the book who feel like Darkseid ripoffs, and many others. So the story for this book is apparently back in the day, NASA launched this space probe that was headed for Jupiter called Pioneer 10 or something like that, and they asked artists to design a plaque to give any extraterrestrials an idea of what humanity should be, right? So Jack Kirby drew this image of these 2 superhero characters, and on the back you see the Earth and the Moon, right? And the probe goes out into space, comes back to Earth, and there's these giant holographic projections of the Pioneer 2, which is the 2 superheroes on the Jack Kirby plaque. And what they bring back with them is they attract the attention of aliens, right? So the 2 main characters of this book is Kirby and his friend-zoned a girlfriend called Bobby Cortez, which Kirby is obviously, looking at him, he's obviously based off Jay Baruchel, I think that's his name, the Canadian comedic actor who was in movies such as Goon. He was in This Is the End, Seth Rogen, End of the World comedy with James Franco, other characters. So that kind of bothers me when they use actors' likenesses in these books, because that's just telling me they think this is going to be a movie or a TV show someday, right? Which after that, what happens is she gets possessed by the Swan Maiden, which is from the Mythlands, and she's under the control of this villain called Darius Drum, who is the villain of Silver Star, who is this Captain America meets the Atom ripoff. But he's not a ripoff. He was apparently he was from an old Jack Kirby comic, which there is a spin-off with Silver Star, but there's 2 spin-off books from this book. There's Captain Victory and Silver Star, which Captain Victory is I don't know how you how you would best describe him. I guess he's a captain of the Galactic Rangers. I guess he's kind of like a Flash Gordon character, but he kind of, design wise, he looks like the Eternals. So what ends up happening is you have these like um, space pirates called Sundance and the gang, which Sundance kind of looks like, in some pages he kind of looks like Luke Skywalker, but in like a superhero outfit, and his gang kidnapped like this female criminal called the Insecton Queen, aka Lady Lightning, who has lightning powers and is also part of this like alien race that creates like these hive monsters that take over planets. So they're being the Sundance gang is being pursued by Galaxy Green, and like they show up on Earth, by the way. Galaxy Green and her like female like bounty hunters who hate men, by the way. Hate men, so their characters were annoying. And then you also have the Galaxy Rangers led by Captain Victory chase them to Earth to destroy the Insecton Queen. While that's going on, these race of superhumans called the Gazron like Knights, which are these four like superheroes, are from like some lost civilization on Earth. They wake up, they're found under like Chicago or apparently, and you also have this continent that's very much that comes off like the Savage Land or whatever from like Marvel, that shows up, and there's a bunch of monsters, dinosaurs, stuff like that, which Kirby accidentally gets on his way trying to find Bobby, who's possessed by the Swan Maiden. He runs into this Sasquatch character named Thunderfoot, who they get kidnapped by aliens and then are sent to the Phantom Continent, which was supposed to be like a Jack Kirby comic book, right? And they find out they find out that there's these race of space gods called the Primals who were created by the progenitors, and the Primals are trapped on Phantom Continent, but Phantom Continent, but they're awakened and they're set free by Kirby, and then you find out they have this brother, which the Primals are the reason why humanity, they protect humanity kinda, and they help humanity. Their purpose is to help humanity grow into like massive civilizations, but the human civilizations always get destroyed because they have this shadow brother called what was he called? I can't remember. But yeah, it's this Cthulhu-looking guy who possesses Darius Drum, who has like the same powers as Silver Star, and causes this massive like war of these like of the alien guys and the Mythland people who all have a battle on Earth. So basically Kirby saves the day at the end of the book. So there was a second volume to this that I didn't pick up, so I didn't, because I paid $30 for this, so I wasn't sure if it was going to be any good. But the problem with this book is that you're getting introduced to a bunch of these characters in this big massive like comic book crossover event, and it just feels like overwhelming because you just get introduced to these characters, and there's a lot of characters in this book. Like there's like too many to name, right? There's even a character called the Wanderer, who's like a space biker who looks like he's from the 1950s. He has like the 1950s like hairdo, who helps Kirby save the world. And I don't know, it's just the thing where like all comic book crossovers kind of feel like a mess, but a mess where you kind of feel lost at times. But it's like this book, you know, you feel it doesn't. It takes a while. It takes like a while for before you can like get a good idea of what's going on, because it just feels like so fucking random. And they even introduce new characters at the end of the book, and you even have the comic book trope where, like, you know, in a crossover where a character dies and another character assumes his mantle. Like Kirby at the end of the book, one of the superhero characters dies in this book, and then Kirby assumes his powers and stuff, which I'm not going to say which character dies. But there's lots of cool characters in the book. The designs are pretty cool. What I really like about the book is, like, you know, knowing Alex Ross, you know, his, like, you know, whenever he works on the book, you know he's just doing the covers, right? And the character designs. He actually inserted his comic book art into this book. Like, there are pages where you see his art, and it's spliced in with the regular guy's art. Because, like, when the Gazron Knight characters transform into they have, like, their regular battle suits, and they have, like, their super battle suits, and when they transform, then they look like Jack Kirby's art, which I thought was kind of random, but it was kind of cool. Basically, though I thought there was some cringe dialogue here and there with, like, with some of the modern day references, like they reference, like, this book came out in 2012 or 2013, so there's, like, references, like, to shows, like sci-fi shows like Fringe and whatnot, and Chuck. Oh, I fucking hate Chuck. But overall, I thought there's a lot of cool action, cool characters, but the book is like a fucking clusterfuck. Sorry to say, but overall, I did enjoy the book and kind of want to pick up more Kirby Genesis books. And the fact that you get like 8.5 issues, because the issue 0 did feel a little short. You're getting like 8+ issues plus all the cover gallery, which is pretty cool. I would say the book is worth its $30. Well, I think I paid $32 for it. No, I just paid $30 for it. It is worth its price point, but it does feel like a bit of a mess. Like a bit of a mess. It's the thing where, like, you gotta stick with it until you can finally understand what's going on, right? Yeah, and there's also, we have to talk about the Jack Kirby thing, where, like, is this book an homage to Jack Kirby, or are they trying to, like, capitalize and use Jack Kirby's name to sell books? Because they didn't just put out this book, they also put out, like I said, the Captain Victory and Silver Star books as well. So, and it's like they're trying to make, like, Dynamite is trying to make their own comic, their own, like, comic book universe with the Jack Kirby creations, and it's like that feels like kind of a, like, you know, like, that feels like they're kind of, like, you know, what's the word? I just said it like a second ago, like a minute ago, but they're trying to capitalize on his ideas and stuff, you know. I don't know, that's the thing, where the book feels like an homage, but then, like, you see what they're doing with Jack Kirby's stuff, and it feels like, man, like, that's kind of like spinning on the grave, because, like Stan Lee, when Stan Lee was alive, yeah, he would whore his name out everywhere, where he would put his name on books that he had, like, he didn't even work on, but, like, you know, he gave them an idea and a character's assigned or some bullshit, and they went off with it. But when Stan Lee finally died, then you saw that they stopped fucking putting his name on everything. Here, like, Jack Kirby's been dead for, like, decades, and then they put this out. That feels a bit like, you know, that feels like, hey, they're kind of, like, you know, like I said, like, they're trying to make money off his name, man, and I hope his family got a big cut because they had to get permission from his like family members. So like I don't know, man. It's the thing where if you're a Jack Kirby fan, I think you're better off just starting with the old stuff. But if you're not a fan of old comics, but you like the old comic kind of style, and like you like the Alex Ross like art and designs. This book is for you. I'm giving this book. Yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty. I thought it was pretty good. It did feel like a mess at times, but if you stick with it, it's cool. And I kind of liked how, like, this is like a kind of a. This is going off track, but I kind of liked the Kirby had to who's obviously Jewish, had to team up with a character with a German submarine captain from World War II who was stranded on the Phantom Continent, and there was no bickering over bickering with that. Where if I felt like if this book came out 21, in the current year, yeah, the millennial characters would be like, I'm not going to work with this guy. This guy's like German soldier from World War II. You guys, especially when that character's like Jewish, but they kind of put their differences aside to work together to survive on the Phantom Continent. So I kind of like that, because I kind of like that. Hey, there was no racism bullshit. It was just, hey, we're all humans. Let's try to survive. Let's all work together to try to survive this crazy fucking place, right? So I enjoyed that. Also, I forgot to mention there's a purple dinosaur, pet dinosaur of one of the people who's with Kirby and the submarine captain, called Reptar. Reptar, who's like, if you ever watched Rugrats back in the day, they had like a Godzilla ripoff character called Reptar too. So I don't know if that was like an homage to Reptar from Rugrats, because I would have think Kurt Busiek would have been too old for that, but I thought that was neat. Alright guys, that's it for this review piece.